morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Now I'm creaming corn today. I wanted to show you, when you go to husk corn in the store and you want to check to see if it's good or not, you don't have to pull it halfway down. You just tear it open till you see the top. If you see a top that is like this, you see how it is? How the kernels are really swollen? It was still making kernels up to the top, and here's one that's done. You see, it went right up to the tip of it. And then you have other ones that look like this. You see how they are? You only have to tear this far down on the husk to check to see if it's fully grown and what you want to see. You do not have to strip it halfway down and leave it for everybody else, because when you take that husk off, the corn starts drying out. People don't know that. All right, now here's the corn I pulled just so you could see this. This corn had dried up at the top. See the difference how it's dried up? That's okay. But anyway, we're gonna make cream corn today. They had corn on sale and I said, you know, what the heck? I am not gonna let this go. All right, you take this silk off, corn silk, because you cannot have it in your cream corn. And this will be canned. I could have picked up 20 ears, but I said no, not today. Now, how are you going to do it? You're going to take your knife. We're going to get this corn off this cob. I'll show you how we do it. Unless you want to can the whole kernel like this. You're going to go down and cut it right off. Just like that. That's simple enough. I'll show you how we get the corn milk after we get the kernels off. Let me get a bowl to put this in. This is what they make the corn husk, the corn syrup that we know so well. I have to move stuff around, so give me a minute. And you're going to hold this because we still have to get the milk off of this. So you just get a sharp knife and you just go down on it. See, there's milk in this, and that's what we want to get. They call it the corn milk. What it is the fluid, actually, is what we're going to get off that cob. And then if you collect those cobs, put them in water and cook them down. I have the recipe for it, but I haven't done it yet. You can make your own corn syrup. And it gets real thick as you cook it. But let me finish stripping these, and I will be back. Okay, I got this much corn. Now I'm going to need a smaller knife to do what I have to do next. You can use a paring knife if you wish, but in here is a lot of fluid. You take the back of your knife and you scrape it, and you will see fluid coming out of it. You will not believe what's coming out of it. You know what? I'm going to leave it back on the cutting board. It'll be easier for you to see. Okay, I'll do it this way for you. Go halfway. You use the back of it and you press this like crazy. This is what they want you to get out. I like a big knife better. I'm sorry. I'm partial to it. I better not, Sanderlin. You cut yourself last time. This is what they call the milk of the corn. You see? Keep it up. Just be careful that you don't cut yourself because the blade's on the upper side. If you want to use a butter knife, I guess you could use the back of the butter knife, but you're actually getting the rest of the corn out. And this, you get corn syrup out of. One guy says he collects everybody's corn at the table and they think he's a bit crazy, but they don't know what he's doing. He's making corn syrup. So you could see there wasn't a lot of waste at one time. Not like what we do today. Today there is a lot of waste, and you don't believe I take it. Look how much I took off, and I've got all this to take off. Now, if you don't want to can cream corn, you can just sit there and take the kernels off and just leave this step out. Yes, women, you get very strong from doing this. But there's no real waste, again. I might take these kernels and just break them up and see if I can make corn syrup. I don't know. Anyway, so let me finish this. Okay, here's the cream of that corn. You dump it in with your corn. And I'm going to clean up and then we'll start moving forward. Just give me a minute to clean up. Okay, you're going to mix the milk of the corn with your corn here. Mix it all up. You don't want to leave one section getting it and the other part doesn't. And just think, when you open the can, if you want, well, your jar when you're ready, you can add some butter to it, some salt and pepper. They say add salt and pepper to it now, but I'm not adding it in. I know salt is a drying compound and a lot of liquid most people will throw out with the nutrients, so I'll add the salt later. And if you are going to salt it when you can, use canning salt, no other salt, because other salts have other things added to it. Okay, let's put this here. I gotta get my towel. Oh, I need another one. What the heck? One towel after another. I'm washing clothes today, right? Okay, I need this. I need my funnel. Yeah, I'll try that. This is the top. For those of you that are new to canning, this has to be pressure canned because vegetables are not acid. Fruits are. This towel's too wet. Actually drying the lids. That towel I was using is too wet. Life gets busy in the kitchen. I have seen people in beautiful kitchens. Beautiful kitchens don't cook. Everything they have is instant. And I say, why do you even bother having a stove? Just have a microwave. I have a girlfriend, she just microwaves them. She cooks with a microwave. I told her I don't know how to do that. I'm more the old fashioned. I'll just sit there and cook. At least I know what I'm getting when I cook. See, there was a time when people who would sit there and sell you products, they didn't believe in the products that they used. So there was a big debate about it, and Congress said, no, you cannot sell to the public unless you use this. I wonder how many of these YouTube influencers and who are selling stuff on the internet are following that rule. Do you really use the stuff? Okay, now I gotta get my jars. They're in the oven. Getting them at 220. For those of you who don't know about canning, when you use a pressure canner, when you wash your jars, just your jars, you stick them into the oven and you set your oven at 220. Now that's boiling point, so the jars can take it at that temperature. You leave them in for about 20-30 minutes and they're sterile. I leave mine till I'm ready and I pull them out and they're hot and everything's hot, so I get it all going. Do not see canning any more than what I'm doing right now. Now today, one of my sons is cooking. He wants to learn how to make a tuna casserole. I said, okay, we'll make a tuna casserole today. And tomorrow, my other son says, I want to learn to make pizza. And I said, okay, I'll show you how to make individual pizzas. But I haven't really taught them to work with breads and yeast yet because that takes time and they're usually quite busy, which gives a slight problem. But we get over and through and around and everything else. Now, if I remember correctly, we are going to need, let me check, a 1-inch headspace that you're going to need. Okay. So you'll see me loading these jars up. I'm not going to use all these jars. I doubt it, seriously. Sandra, you're making a mess. Yeah, I know. Always. What do you want, Taffy? I just fed you. Now you're carrying on again? I fed you twice. I might use these jars, most of them. Hush my mouth if we were going to use them. I didn't think I was going to use all these jars. So as you can see, a small amount of corn, we're talking 10 ears. Now if you don't want cream corn and you just want regular corn, all what you have to do is not take the milk, get the corn milk, and just do it the same way. You can add salt. They recommend a 1/4 teaspoon of canning salt for each pint jar. They say not to use a quart. Do not. I mean, they stressed it in bold print. Do not. So do not use a quart jar, only pints. Now what I would do with this is take 1 jar and put it with some butter. This is after I open them. Add some milk and take another jar and throw it in the blender and really cream it up and put it together. Then salt and pepper to taste. Okay, I blew it. There were exactly 7 jars. So I miscalculated a bit. Okay, now you have water boiling. You're going to bring it over. We'll get the measuring cup. Gracious. Okay. I know they say use a ladle, but when I've just got water or broth, it's much easier with a measuring cup. You need a 1-inch headspace. This is where you add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt if you wish. Now when you debubble here, you will notice the water level might really drop. So far mine's doing pretty good. So you do all the same steps if you want just regular corn. You don't have to do anything else, just cut the corn off and proceed. have 10 ears for next week. I'll pick up more and I'll make regular corn. Because I have some recipes I don't need cream corn. I need regular corn and check them, make sure they're all right. Get your vinegar, and we're going to wipe the edges down again. What do you want, Taffy? I am canning right now. You know I don't pet you or anything while I'm canning. Now the reason you're giving a high headspace is because it's going to boil. That's why they say an inch. Pour your extra vinegar in here to keep your lids, your jars clear. Well, that's what an apron is for. Make sure you put the lids on straight. If you don't, the jars won't seal either. These are just little things that people don't talk about, and after mistakes and all, you'll get it down, but I'll give you warning. I have an All-American. I don't know what kind of pressure canner you have, but follow the instructions, please, explicitly. Okay. Okay, let me see. Taffy? No. Now your brother's good when I do this, but you don't. Okay. I'll go ahead and let you know what's happening now. This is going to come up and it's going to have to vent through the vent for 10 minutes steady. Then you're going to put the weight on. It's set for 5 psi's, 10 psi's, and 15 psi's according to your area. Check out your pounds per square inch so you get it for your area. Mine is 10, so I'm going to be using it at 10. I'm going to vent the vent 10 minutes steadily. When you see the steam coming up, I'm going to put my weight on it. And then when it comes up to the gauge that reads, I like to be at 11, 1 over, just to make sure it doesn't drop below it. I'm going to leave it in there for 1 hour and 25 minutes. And this is only for pints. You cannot use quart jars. You have to use pint jars when you're canning cream corn or corn. Now, if you just want to make regular corn, do not take, when you cut the kernels off, don't go for the milk of the corn. Just sit there and use that and just can it. And if you want to add salt, just add 1/4 of a teaspoon. No, they want 1/2 teaspoon? That's a lot of salt. They want 1/2 teaspoon in each pint jar. No, I'm not putting that in. I'm sorry. All right. So when it's all done, I will show you what it looks like. Okay, I finished the corn. It did tell it cooled a little so I could bring it over. Here it is, cream corn. Very simple. And like I said, you don't have to make cream corn if you just want to can regular corn. Just take it off and follow the steps and leave the part where we're getting the corn milk off the cob. Just leave that out and you can do it that way too. So take care. Bye-bye.